Hello and welcome to Eyewitness Report on Channels Television. I am Yomi Otaigbe. This week's edition of the program focuses on the effects of heavy rains witnessed in Taraba and Bauchi states as residents count their losses occasioned by the flood. The forecast by the Nigerian Meteorological Agency that some states in the north would experience above normal rainfall in 2021 appears to be taking effect. 3 weeks after a major rainfall, residents of affected communities in Jalingo, Taraba State are yet to come to terms with the extent of damage brought by the heavy downpour.
Mayogoi remains quiet despite the gradual return of activities to the community adversely hit by flood. The waters might have gone down. Most residents displaced by the floodwater are yet to return to their homes. The fear of a similar disaster recurring cannot be ruled out as the reason for this. Among those who chose to remain and embrace their fears is Mr. John Thomas, a pastor. Furniture and other household items in his apartment are still out of place.
We were called upon at the local government secretariat, and nothing was just done because all they gave us was gari and some noodles of rice. And since then they said NEMA was coming. NEMA came to the secretariat, National Stadium, and nothing. We were not even called. The whole of us, you see the house as how the compound is being vandalized because the flood overshadowed us here completely. And my vehicle, like you saw the other day, I was just left alone, my carpets, my boxes, everything. I'm just left with this cloth that I'm wearing now. And so no assistance, we have not even been called upon. I even petitioned, I sent a text message to His Excellency. I have not had any response up to this time I'm talking to you. In fact, if the state government would have assisted us with, like he gave us foodstuffs, mattress. You see my mattress, look at my mattress lying down outside there. It's even little money to help us regain most of this, like my television, my decoders, in fact, all my electronics, all gone. You see the fridge, they were picking all our things at the bridge here, and they were just going with it. And so, in fact, even my vehicle, they're asking me now to bring 450,000 to repair my vehicle. I don't even have a dime. We have never been asked to move from this place because these are old compound and water has never entered this compound like this. This is the first time we are experiencing, even the flood that happened some 3 years ago didn't enter this compound like this. This is the first time that the thing overshadowed this compound like this.
Although no life was lost, the downpour leaves houses, farms and other properties submerged, giving residents the arduous task of salvaging as much as they could for days.
We were sleeping, then suddenly we heard some of our neighbors were screaming that water has entered, so we came out and we saw water was going up. It was going up to the level that some of us were not able to come out with some of our things in the room. Our electronic machines, our credentials, most of it, the water has destroyed it, and our foodstuffs. Because the water was so much, we couldn't carry anything, and the fence behind our building has just fell down, it has collapsed.
This whole thing started since the early hours of the day. In fact, some people woke up and discovered that their houses were already submerged inside water. So many houses have been collapsed. Some people were rushed to the hospital because of the shock. Some were hypertensive. We have to rush them to the hospital. So sincerely, if there is one thing we are sincerely seeking with immediate is for the government to assist people of this area with food, what they will eat for the meantime, probably before NEMA comes in, before the federal government comes in, before any other person comes in. Because if there is anything, I'm telling you, a lot of families don't have what to eat now, and I don't know to how long.
The force of the flood also affects the Mayogoi Bridge, with cracks noticed in some sections of the structure. Flood-resultant rain are common in Mayogoy and other low-lying settlements lying within the river basin in Jalingo, the Taraba state capital. But the latest is the second that happened within a space of 4 weeks from the previous one, and it's adjudged by residents as the most disastrous. Mayogoy is among several communities ravaged by such magnitude of flood believed to have overflowed the river bank. The residents think the flood could have been averted if there was a good drainage system.
This flood is not from the river because I'm here over 20 years in this house. That's why I'm telling you this. Because any water from the river side, he has never come to this side. Only the lack of drainage that they didn't arrange it, whereby to flow down to the river.
The chairman of Jalingo local government area, Nasiru Boboji, is one of the early callers to the affected area. In the course of assessing damages, he attends to questions bordering on insinuations that flood might have been caused by the release of Kiri Dam in Adamawa State and Labdo Dam in Cameroon.
This regard is not the issue of whether Adamawa State government or Taraba State government, but the government because it's a diplomatic issue. So I think it is the government at the national level that will engage the relevant authority at the neighboring state, neighboring countries that is so involved in this kind of activity. And whenever necessary, sometimes, dam, you have to give it also. You have to open way for the water to pass. Whenever they are going to do this, let us be communicated. I hope you understand, so that we also sensitize and also move away people that are living close to these areas. So this is just my appeal. So I think in this regard, there is need for the government, especially the national government, the federal government, to ensure that there is a proper collaboration and proactive measures to also predict and also engage the relevant authorities so that appropriate proactive measures will be taken to avert this kind of instances. So it is our responsibility as government at this level to engage all those that are in the riverbank area, and I think that is one of the assessment. We have made it actually in collaboration with SEMA sometimes, but sometimes people doesn't actually, some of them, whatever you do, they will not give the cooperation they deserve, but there are some who are actually responding positively, and we continue to push and sensitize the people so that at least this kind of loss of properties and millions of naira will also be avoided.
As a matter of concern, the governor of Taraba State, Darius Ishaku, also leads top government officials on a sympathy visit to the affected communities. With an on-the-spot assessment and briefing from the State Emergency Management Agency, Governor Ishaku identifies the immediate needs of the victims.
The first thing is to immediately send food supplies to all these people, because all of them, most of them, their houses have completely been damaged. And we need to support them with what to eat immediately. And then the second stage will be how they can reconstruct their houses, but not on the same area, because they are all lying on the low valley of the rivers. We had this issue 2005, and this looks like even a bit worse than that. So we have to discourage people by encroaching to the river valleys as much as possible. Definitely we have to resettle them. In fact, we have to move them. I can remember one of the particular building, which is like a factory. I refused to sign the CO4 some 3 months ago because I was querying the location. And today I saw it, that place was completely flooded. So we have to relocate a lot of the buildings away from the floodplains.
Besides Jalingo, communities in other parts of the state are also affected by the flood. According to the governor, resettling affected residents requires support to cross board.
Any help that is coming to Taraba State should go through the government of Taraba State. And we'll call on non-governmental organizations to help us, because most times they should come also through the government. We have established ways. We have the SEMA in the state. We have other organizations, humanitarian ministry exists in this state. So I see no reason why the counterpart in the federal cannot liaise with the humanitarian ministry in the state. We desire support.
It's been 3 weeks since the Taraba state government committed to helping those affected. The expected interventions remain a promise yet to be fulfilled.
I don't think there is any assistance from the government, because I was thinking they will make an effort, but I've not seen any effort that the government did, which I expected. That so many people here, tenants lost so many properties, so many valuable things has been lost here. So I didn't see anything, any support from the government. And which I believe, if government can come to the aid of the people for assistance, to assist them, or if there is any way that they can assist and help even the landlord or the landlady of the house, at least to make some repairs.
As you can see, these are my study Bibles. In fact, this is my library. This is my library, you see it. And all the books, everything there is gone. And in fact, just look at the whole compound. Even the tenants that I have here have all run away. The 4 tenants have all gone out. And I'm just left here alone. And you can come and see why I'm lying down on the bed ground. Look at all my chairs, everything outside. Everything outside. My clothes all gone. The ones I'm able to pick, look at how muddy the water came with too much of mud. So serious that we couldn't do otherwise.
While the victims continue to look out for relief, it's pertinent for them to understand that building on waterways and low-lying areas is a risky venture. It also behoves the state government to engage relevant agencies in educating the citizenry and put in place a strong regulation against such.
Staying with Taraba State, commuters plying the Jalingo-Wukari Expressway are lamenting the bad state of the road, now being worsened by ceaseless rainfall. Here's a follow-up on eyewitness pictures of motorists whose journeys were cut short by an accident caused by a bad portion of the road washed away by the flood.
Chaos sets in when a trailer trying to maneuver its way through a bad portion on Garden Kuturu Bridge along the Jalingo-Wukari Federal Highway fell. Most of its contents, mainly grains, were drowned in the river, but with the help of other motorists and residents of the area, few bags were recovered.
Around 6 a.m., this trailer fell off and blocked the provisional road we created. We had to double our efforts to create another one to allow for free traffic. We want both the state and federal governments to collaborate and do a good job on this bridge that is becoming scary. We do not know when it will cave in.
In the aftermath of the accident, travelers were stranded for hours until a palliative was created.
For about 6 to 7 hours, everything stands still. Nobody's going out, nobody's coming in. Even some of the government vehicles were stranded until when the youths came to their aid and blocked the holes with trees, sound and all the rest. And the governments, they appreciate them, they even give them something. So it's not done like that. We need the government to come and do the needful thing. This bridge has started since 3 years ago, 2019, it did so, 2020, 2021. So it has been long. Last year they came as if they are going to help. They just come and take the picture of the area and they just left.
Jalingo-Wukari Road, already awarded for reconstruction, connects Taraba to other states in the northeast and other parts of the country. But it's full of bad portions, most of whom were remodeled with planks and logs, often washed away by the flood.
It was a rain. accompanied with high velocity flood and wash away a triple cell bus culvert. You can watch the embankment that led to road cutoff. And FEMA is handy. We know it is an emergency and we are quick on it. FEMA is on ground. We are going to do a palliative measure to ensure that traffic continues to flow. The road has cut out from traffic and we are here.
A few weeks ago, a similar situation played out in Jalingo, and it's expected that contractors handling the rehabilitation of the road would speed up work to prevent loss of lives and goods and also the hampering of economic activities in the area.
Commuters on Bauchi-Kano Road also experienced similar situation. They are facing a tough time plying the route, damaged by flood.
The downpour of Friday, July 30, created a ditch in the middle of the Bauchi-Kano highway. The area has been turned into a temporary motor park where passengers are exchanged from both ends as travelers make their way across by foot to board another vehicle. Motorists are warned of the danger ahead as they approach the washout.
I came with 2 passengers from Kano and met this washout. The only option I have now is to transfer them to another vehicle, which will take them to Bauchi. Then I will return to Kano.
It's brisk business for commercial motorcycle operators who convey passengers to and fro, especially those with excessive luggage. The Bauchi State Governor, Bala Mohammed, has come to assess the damage firsthand. He is not comfortable with the temporary solution proposed by the Federal Road Maintenance Agency, FEMA.
Well, we have inspected the place, and you have seen me with the managing director of Triata and the zonal manager of Mazakat, and of course the representative of PAMA and the Federal Minister of Works, and our permanent secretary and Minister of Works, and all of us, the officials of government of Bauchi State. It's a joint inspection. This is a very unfortunate incident as a result of the flood that has washed out a substantial portion of a major corridor from the northwest, that is from Kano, connecting Bauchi, Gombe, Adama, and the rest. And we have seen it. Engineering solution is going to be provided, but the normal palliation that will be provided is to make sure the place is made passable. As a state government, we have taken the permission of the representative of the federal government to make sure that immediate palliation is given, and Triactor has been directed by my humble self to make sure that they make the place passable in the next 1 week by providing whatever solution they can do, because we cannot, the economic loss is so monumental. And of course, I have begged the contractor, the Federal Minister of Works and PAMA to make sure that a company like Triactor or Mazakat is given the permanent solution as a contract. And of course, if they cannot do it, they can give me the responsibility. I will do the procurement on their behalf. I know of the federal government policy which says that states are not allowed to do federal government responsibility because they will not be refunded. But this is an emergency program, and we know that Mr. President is the president of the people. He has said it, and the people of Bauchi love him, especially this area, and that is why we are calling on him to please give a leeway for us to be able to provide solution. Unfortunately, it's not the work of the federal government or the state. It's the work of the flooding and of the devil, I would say, because this place is being washed out at the same time with the other corridor connecting us with Maiduguri from Soro section. We have spoken to farmers, they are doing something. Again, from the north central, around Nobodo, from Jos, it's being washed out yesterday. Commuters had to wait for hours before they came into Bauchi. Unfortunately, again, Gombe corridor too, around Kirfi, In Kebbi local government, the place is being washed out, and I must appreciate the farmer for doing what they are doing, and the Federal Minister of Work, they are working so hard to make sure they do. But I have pleaded with them to be procuring construction works or palliation or maintenance by contractors who have capacity to do it so that they can provide permanent solution.
The governor also visits Yankari quarters in Bauchi metropolis, which has constantly been affected by flood. Residents had protected the blockage of the water channel by a fence erected by the DSS, but the governor also queried illegal construction of houses on waterways.
This is a flood drain. It is not only this wall of the DSS. People are building on the flood drain and you expect a miracle to happen. You have been selling land to people to build on the flood drain. Oh, come here. What kind of thing is this? It can be possible. It is not about this wall. You don't expect SSS that has responsibility for security to leave their premises open just because of you are building on the flood drain. Government will help you if you will help yourself. This solution lies with you, Angwa. You allow people to build here. One of my predecessors said, it is you that came to the valley, not the valley that came to you. This is a flood drain. They have taken all the engineering measures they can do to perforate this building and the rest. But the corridor is encumbered by buildings. So what do you want us to do? To break this wall so that you'll be entering their premises? What do you want, Chairman? What can we do? This training school is given by the government, and it's a federal government institution. Do I break them? You have to provide allowance. Setback, that's what they call it in urban and regional planning parlance. And you are the one selling it and allowing it. Chairman of the local government, don't blame this on the DSS. Sema, why is the Minister of Works? You have to come and provide solution. All the buildings along the drain should be demolished. And they should be compensated to go, because we will not just demolish them, but we will do enumeration. And then you two will work with you to provide solution to this, because we can do a better solution than this. But what I'm seeing with my eyes, they have tried. They have opened it. So, but certainly because of the refuse, because of the amount of litter along the corridor, the water will come and block this thing. It's not their fault. You people are just putting litter because of the number of people along the flood drain. But SEPA, I think it's a collective responsibility. Look at this building here. Look at this one here. If we are going to provide a gutter or culvert, a flood drain, we have to really remove the buildings.
Governor Mohammed directs the Minister of Work to embark on demolition of houses built on waterways and ensure that the people are compensated. He is also instructed that other highways affected by flood be fixed immediately.
Be an eyewitness reporter and attract developmental changes to your community with pictures and videos of activities around you. Simply post them to our Eyewitness portal via the Channels TV app, which you can download from the various app stores online. Now let's look at the pictures sent in by eyewitness reporters during the week.
The first eyewitness video on these segments of the program shows officials of the Lagos State New Town Development Authority pulling down shanties in Lekki Peninsula Scheme 2. The dislodgement is a way of sanitizing the environment and restoring law and order in the area. The eyewitness reporter says the enforcement was carried out after the expiration of removal notices to all owners of makeshift structures, shanties, kiosks, and vehicles.
If you apply my road, you should be able to collect the road for me. Yes.
In the next video, the eyewitness reporter captures residents of Agbadu Oja in Ogun State protesting over the state of the Agbado Oja, Ijoko Road. The residents allege that the untarred and dilapidated road, which is regularly plied by articulated vehicles belonging to the China Civil Engineering Construction Corporation in the ongoing railway project, had gone worse. They are appealing to the Ogun State government to come to their aid by fixing the road. Finally, in these pictures are two spots that look like refuse dump on both sides of a road. According to the reporter, the ditches were dug to serve as drainage for the free flow of water at an intersection at Ojogiwa in Lagos Island. They have become death traps for innocent school children and unsuspecting commercial motorcycle operators. The sender of the pictures is asking the local authorities to fix them.
Thanks for those images. We do expect more from you. That's how we wrap up this edition of the program. See you again next week. I am Yomi Otaigbe.